I firmly believe that if you hear these 3 real life stories about misconceptions surrounding menopause and how they misdirected treatment, one day you might save a life. Menopause is natural and inevitable. It will happen to every woman one day. Yet the fear and misconceptions about symptoms are rampant, so rampant in fact that women often make wrong decisions and misinterpret the symptoms. It is not as straightforward as it sounds. Even educated women can fall through the cracks of these misconceptions. Here are 3 real life stories from my own diary. For those who are not Bengali, we Bengalis call our elder sister and brothers as Didi and Dada. For many, I am a doctor, but for Gopa-di, I am just a little brother. Gopa-di had a small ovarian cyst for a long while. It was a small cyst, not worthy of attention, but needed follow-up. She often used to say, if I come to you as a patient, I'm sure you will straight away cut away my ovaries off with surgery, and then menopause will start and I will suffer. I used to reply, at least get an ultrasound scan done, Gopa-di, to get the status of your cyst. Gopa-di was around 48-49 years old and would often tell me, yes, I will get an ultrasound scan once I have vacation. Vacation would come and go, but she would not get checked. Sometimes I would get very irritated with her procrastination. Ovarian cysts, especially around this age, requires some kind of monitoring. I could not pressurize her, but used to joke, please say yes, and I will arrange everything to get this scan done. Gopa-di would not yield. She said, I have to make decisions based on many things. If you remove the ovaries, and that's menopause, and my mother suffered from backache so much after menopause, I cannot afford to have menopause 2-3 years early. Also, after menopause, I will suffer from bad mood, will shout at everyone, and then your Shibuda will suffer due to my irritated mood. Shibuda is a husband. I still used to say, Gopa-di, how many times have I told you that menopause does not mean suffering? At least get an ultrasound scan done to check your ovarian cysts. You teach at such a reputed university and have so many degrees. Why do you suffer from misconceptions that menopause will definitely cause you back pain and irritable mood? These are all myth. There have been many studies worldwide that have dispelled misconceptions about menopause. You can easily read these studies even with basic English skills. This is definitely easier than complex mathematical equations you teach your students. I used to say to Gopa-di, and Gopa-di still used to say, I don't have any symptoms. One day I will definitely get an ultrasound scan done. Gopa-di is not my sister, nor she is my patient. She is a distant relative who used to sing lovely songs and was a great cook. She lives in Delhi, far from Kolkata where I work. Gopa-di teaches at university in Delhi, and they are so welcoming that whenever I visit Delhi for some work, I must have lunch or dinner with Gopa-di and Shibuda. Recently, I received a call from Gopa-di's husband Shibuda. While I was seeing patients in the hospital, I picked up the phone and told him I was busy and I would call back. But he insisted, Manas, I need you right now. Gopa-di had severe abdominal pain and I had to take her to a doctor in Delhi. Anxiously, I asked what the doctor said. Shibuda replied that the doctor mentioned the cyst is no longer simple and had spread throughout Gopa-di's abdomen. As a specialist in this field, I understood that the cyst had likely turned into cancer and metastasized. My cold fingers started to tremble. Shibuda continued, we are taking a flight to Kolkata this evening. You have to treat her right now. The Indigo flight from Delhi reached Kolkata at 8:30 p.m. I myself picked up Shibuda and Gopa-di from the airport. After returning home, I glanced at the ultrasound report and realized that the cyst had indeed turned into cancer, spreading throughout her abdomen and chest. Despite this, Gopa-di had no symptoms and was munching on chicken pakora while chatting with my wife. She did not believe she had ovarian cancer because her symptoms were so minor and vague. Within 2 days, we got the diagnosis and I arranged her treatment with my colleague who specializes in such cases. Doctors do not treat, close friends, or relatives themselves. After a few weeks, she is responding to treatment now, and I hope to be by her side throughout. However, whenever I am alone, I am overpowered by the thought that menopause is inevitable in every woman's life. Yet, women still suffer that menopause will cause lighter bones, body pain, hormonal imbalance, and irritability. Gopa-di, simply because of these menopausal fears, prevented herself from getting a simple ultrasound scan done to check her cyst. Had she done that ultrasound in time, her situation today would be very different. She is educated and knowledgeable. So, where is the actual problem? The fear of menopause? If we had detected her problem early enough, she could have expected a cure. Women's symptoms of menopause are very easy to treat now. They are not even a problem. You only need some awareness. That is why in my medical practice, I often explain to women what menopause is and why we should not blame it for everything that happens after age of 50 and how menopause can be managed. Just a few days ago, we operated on a young woman named Bipasha. She is from an aristocratic family in Bhomanipur, South Kolkata. She works in Patna. She can fluently speak 4 languages and works at the customer service front office there. In just a few months at her first job, she has become the blue-eyed girl of the office, exuding confidence. However, whenever I asked her about her parents during her medical history intake, she would become very dim, shaky, and avoid eye contact, doing everything to dodge that question. Just before her surgery, I told her that I needed to know about her family history. She then said very calmly and quietly, "I do not know, doctor." As a doctor, I understood that her mother must have had some medical problem that Bipasha could not diagnose, but I needed to know any unanswered worries to treat her adequately. After her treatment, when Bipasha was about to return to Patna from Kolkata, I asked her in the clinic, "What exactly happened to your mother?" She still didn't reply. The answer came from her Mausi, that is aunt, our mother's sister. Bipasha's mum had spinal cord tumor. Her Mausi explained that Bipasha's mother has been complaining of low back pain for many months, similar to what women experience around menopause. She used to take paracetamol and apply hot compresses, thinking it was due to menopause. They visited a doctor but never followed up when the pain didn't subside. At that time, everyone was busy with Bipasha's grand Indian wedding. As Mausi continued explaining, I noticed tears filling Bipasha's eyes. My clinic sister handed her a soft paper towel to control her tears. Her Mausi continued, "When we finally went to doctor and got an MRI scan for her back pain, we discovered it was not menopausal back pain, but a tumor in her spinal cord. Unfortunately, it was too late to treat her and we lost Bipasha's mother. That's why we are always careful now. And this time, we came to you for Bipasha's treatment in time to avoid any problems." Some symptoms can be so confusing that it is difficult to determine whether low back pain is due to spinal cord tumor or normal back pain after 50. Many people complaining of low back pain and fatigue, but these should subside after rest. If they don't, you must return to the doctor and keep investigating. It should not cripple a woman. Think of famous figures like artist Lata Mangeshkar, PepsiCo's director Indra Nooyi, and former British Prime Minister ultra-dynamic Margaret Thatcher. They all had their golden times in their life only after menopause. However, we sometimes believe that menopause cripples our mind, as if it is the end of life. It is far from that. In modern days, women spend half of their life after menopause quite successfully. Multiple studies today suggest that behind these so-called mental symptoms of menopause irritability, mood irritability, many problems like depression and sleep issues silently arise. We often fail to recognize this as separate problems and ignore them, leading to major mental health issues stemming from subtle early signs. Menopause happens at an age when many mood and mental issues start to coexist. This last story I heard from our medical college senior Gautamda. He said, You wouldn't believe it, Manas. We used to visit Debu's place so often. We had such tasty food that Debu's mother used to cook. The pilau, the mutton curry, and the spicy, tasty chutney of green mango. Debu's mum used to cook them. And during Bengali New Year and after pujas, at least twice a year, we used to go to Debu's place and devour her cooking as if we didn't have any other decent meal whole year. At that time, we stayed in medical college hostels where meals were meager. Gautamda used to describe that after finishing college, everyone, including Debu, left the city for higher studies. Debu's father used to complain to Debu and Gautamda that Kakima, that means Debu's mother, had become very irritable and used to fight with her husband almost daily. At 60 years of age, it was understandable that a woman married for nearly 40 years would not fight with her husband with weapons. We used to think lightly that it was just a passing phase, as sometimes Kakima would come down and we would all forget about the problems. One sunny Thursday morning, Debu's mother disappeared into thin air. She could not be found in a locality or city. Even the police did everything to search for her. We checked every hospital and police station, but we could not trace her. Debu's father had gone to the market to buy some fruits for his wife, but wife disappeared from home. Clothes, bags, suitcases were as they were. Even the morning newspaper that Debu's mother used to read every day was still folded afresh. Her spectacles were still there, half folded. After getting his first stipend, Debu had bought a pair of Reebok morning walk shoes for his mum, and only that pair was gone. Debu's mother despised suicide all her life, yet she could not be found anywhere. Those days we did not have that many CCTVs and she could not be ever traced. Around that time, doctors suspected that behind the irritability of Debu's mother, which was thought to be a menopausal nuisance, a major depression was hiding. Debu could have easily taken her to a psychiatrist to get it treated, but Debu's family and everyone around, including Debu, did not think of taking her to psychiatrist thinking it was a problem of menopause. After this devastating episode, Debu changed his medical stream. He was studying to become a radiologist, but instead, he later became a psychiatrist. Debu now looks after elderly mood problems, known as geriatric psychology, and provides the service that his mother could not get. Out of these 3 real-life stories, the one message that comes out loud and clear is that menopause is natural and we must not assume that all symptoms after menopause are because of menopause. It could hide other serious problems. Menopause is nothing to be feared, unlike Gopa-di. Menopause is inevitable and you can make it a very enjoyable part of your life. To know more about menopause, I am sharing the link to our masterclass on menopause below. It will redirect you to Substack blog post. Feel free to have a great read. That's all today. See you soon over another research.